Okay, October 2014, the 1949 F7 Ford with Marmon Herrington conversion. Another look at it. All right, I got up in there and I was able to turn the engine another inch or two. I didn't try to force it, just moved it an inch or two. I had to put pressure on the belt because the belt is slipping because it's real old and it's a two-handed job, so I really cannot show that on camera. It was all I could do just to hang myself in there and do that. But it did turn. It did move, so it's not stuck. Look under the hood. We did get the numbers on the plates finally. Let's see. Those have been put in the listing. See if the camera will pick up the engine number on there. It may not. Freeze frame it, you should be able to see it. Okay. Everything looks intact under the hood. This was a running vehicle. We were using it many, many years ago. One of the reasons I don't want to go spinning the motor over is that it has been sitting dry for more than 30 years. I would want to pull out those spark plugs. We end up breaking a few and oil it up and all that before even attempting to turn this. But I will leave that to the new owner to deal with. If I was to use this motor, I would completely take it apart, clean everything, because I'm going to tell you right now, with that old-fashioned non-detergent motor oil, there's probably going to be about 2 inches of sludge in that pan. Really disgusting crud. You need to clean that out before even trying to run this. Otherwise, you will blow the engine. That stuff will get sucked up into all the oil passages, and that's the end of it. So I would pull it, strip it down, clean it up, paint it nice, put new gaskets, and put it back in there and run it. Because it was a good running motor. This was a sight truck. This never actually left the yard. We used to load railroad cars with this thing. Put a gigantic bucket on the back of it. It's got a boom, as you can see. And we would hoist we would hoist cut 275 tanks full of iron, scrap iron, to the top of that and dump it into the railroad car. And for that, we had a huge winch on the back of it, as you can see. This is a highway winch. Highway manufacturing, and we do have a tag, which I will attempt to see. I could probably go to the other side to see it better. I'm told this winch is mounted backwards, but it does not affect how it works, of course. I'm not sure why it was mounted backwards, but that would have been done over 40 years ago, so I really can't ask who did it. And you can see here we have the rear end, the heavy back bumper. Everything's good. There's no cracks or splits in the frame here. We have the boom. Now this boom is almost certainly going to have to be taken down before this truck could be transported. It's just too high. You'll be snagging electrical lines all over the place with that. The electric company gets upset when you do that sort of thing. Okay, we have transmission, or the back of the transmission. That would be the transfer case. I assume that's probably something Marmon Herrington put in there. It has a PTO, a chain drive there on the winch. You can see the body itself is rough, plenty of rust, which is typical for these. But the frame, the bones are good. Take a peek under there again, and you can see some of it. There's the front wheel drive, or the front axle rather, and rusty fenders. Let's go take a look at that highway winch cable. We have some bee activity here. Hopefully they'll stay the hell away from me for a little while. Okay, there's a highway winch. And let's see if I can read any of that. Order parts from issue 196-A-5. I'm going to say that looks like an 8, but it could be a 6. 19. Now let's see about the rest of that tag. See it a little bit better. ERRC82LRR, serial number W-2936. That 3 could be an 8. Hard to tell. Well, I'll give you a good look here. You can always freeze frame it, determine it for yourself. Highway Trailer Company, Edgerton, Wisconsin. Assembly, I read 196-A-29. Not sure what that means, but it's on there. The winch was in operable condition when it was last used many years ago, but I'm going to assume it's probably going to need some lubricating. Really don't know much about these. That cable I certainly wouldn't trust after this many years. Look at the rear end from this angle. Frame, the mounts. Take a look at the tires. Not really sure what the heck that is. Let me see. What the heck is that? Ah! Well, that is an old door opening device that really does not belong there. Let's get a better look. Ouch! That was a vine stabbing me there. At the rear. Tires, this tire's off the wheel. This one actually seems to still have air. Those two, I don't know if they'll take air or not. They are very old. I'll look at the bumper. Here's a good shot at the back of the cab. Somebody questioned me about that. There we go. And let's take a look inside the cab. And you can see the roof's got some holes, some where lights were mounted, and some rust holes too, I'm sure. Top of the cab there is rusty. And we got all the Marmon Herrington controls. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 levers. Let's see, one of them is going to be an emergency brake. So there's 3 just to control the all-wheel drive, plus the regular standard shift. And we have 36,624 miles on the odometer, which I am told is original miles. This was purchased from the state of New York, and they didn't, or possibly New Jersey, and they hadn't used it very much. They bought this truck right around 1964, I believe, somewhere in there, and they converted it, and they used it until 1971 when we lost the railroad siding. The railroad went bust, and after that it was used occasionally to haul a car around the yard until we got the big forklifts, probably to the mid-70s. Then it was just parked and used for nothing, which is a shame because it would have been a nice little vehicle to play with for somebody. Still would be. I would put a new cab on here, but maybe this could be fixed. Number 7, lucky 7. And there's the F7. And underneath, I'm going to try to have a peek under there for you. That would be brakes, I suppose. We have a drive shift. No, that's something else because it's a drive shift coming out of it. I really don't know these Marmon Herrington setups too well. Don't know what the camera's seeing, but get an idea what's going on. Oh, almost lost the camera. That wouldn't have been good. Damn, things are expensive. Let's have a look under here. Again, I don't know what the camera's seeing, so bear with me if it's not much of a picture. Okay. Radiator is still there. No idea if it's got leaks or not. I would assume yes, but then they sometimes can surprise you. That tire's off the rim. That's all rotted, crumbling. Now we do have a big forklift. There it is. And we could load this on pretty much any trailer you bring, but this would require a heavy equipment trailer according to its tag. This is 7,000 pounds, just a strip chassis without the gigantic winch or that big boom. And we do have torches available if you need to take that boom down. Back window's broke. Got a broken light on top. This door does not open. And we have a control handle, I assume for the winch. Another one. And I don't know what this is. Still got some grease in there. It says highway. I don't know if that's, I think it's a single speed rear. I don't see a control on there, so I'm going to guess that's single speed rear. Nasty looking tires. Gas tank. Sure that's full of shellac by now.